It seems as if I'm suggesting that we live in two worlds, although they are actually the same world. One is the absolute aspect of this reality, of which we are generally ignorant. The other is the relative. This is the world that we know. Just as a way to think about the matter, you could say, metaphorically, that one is like an infinite uncarved block, and the other is the carved block. Without carving the block into pieces, the uncarved block cannot be perceived in any way, since there is nothing to perceive and no one to perceive it. Whereas the carving, or making of distinctions, creates a relative world, and so perception becomes possible. This being the case, we can see that although these two domains, representing the absolute and the relative, seem to be different, the nature or substance of both is identical. We're simply ignorant of this nature. We only experience the carving. Where the metaphor falls short is in the fact that our imagined uncarved block is actually relative. It is an image of boundless space and objective substance. Try to imagine, however, that all of this complex existence of space, objects, and life in some unimaginable way arises from an absolute nothing that itself has no aspect or element. At the same time, don't confuse anything that can be thought or imagined as the absolute. Our difficulty lies in the fact that all of our thinking, imagining, and perceiving exists solely within the relative. And so here we will always hold the absolute and relative as different realities. What we're missing is that we're not talking about a different reality, but the very nature of all reality. Our problem is simply not being fully conscious of the whole of existence, which manifests only as the relative. All of existence is relative. One, two, none, more, everything, something else. These are all distinctions in the relative domain. As a matter of fact, every possibility in the entire universe and beyond, and every possibility to come, will always exist within the relative. The most universal and grand event or possibility is still relative. That's what makes it universal and grand, because it's not specific and mundane. Anytime we imagine or experience another possibility or reality, we've already created relativity, no matter what it is we imagine or experience. The absolute is simply the nature of all of it. We just may not be conscious of that.